commentary here on Sportsound. It's a UEFA Conference League. Aberdeen, of course, taking on Paok. Full live commentary, Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland with Willie Miller, Rory Loy and Liam McLeod.
Thank you, Richard. There can be no underestimating how important it is for Aberdeen this evening that they pick up all 3 points against Paok. That is if their ambition remains to qualify for the next stage of the Conference League, having picked up just 1 point from their 2 openers. And they had to scramble that point last time out here against Helsinki, with Bojan Miovski's relatively late goal making sure that they weren't pointless after the 2 games against Frankfurt and the Finns. But tonight is going to represent a step up in class from HJK, because this is a Paok team that just a couple of seasons ago were in the quarter-finals of this competition. As the wind continues to howl around the stadium, it's been a pretty dire day weather-wise. The rain, thankfully, has gone off. There's a weather warning in place, a yellow weather warning in place for the next few days in the northeast of the country, which has taken some battering over the last week or so. The 2 sets of players just exchanging handshakes down below us, and with the match officials who are Austrian. Sebastian Gishemer is in the middle. Last time he was in this country was to take charge of Scotland 2, Armenia 0 in the Nations League at Hampden a year past June, as the Aberdeen players discard with their training tops. Kelarus in goal, it's Stefan Gartenman, Slobodan Rubičić and Richard Jensen at the back, Nicky Devlin and Jack McKenzie wide, Graham Shinney, Connor Barron, Dante Polvara, Jamie McGrath and Bojan Miovski leads the line for them. For Paok, it's almost the same team that started at Tynecastle when they put Hearts to the sword over the 2 legs in qualifying. So Katarski in goal, Vieirinha, the club captain, 37 now. He was in the Portugal squad that won the European Championship in 2016. Trustekong and Koulirakis are the centre-backs, with the Portuguese Rafa Suarez on the other side. Tsingaras and Schwab are the men in the middle. Zivkovic, Konstantelius and Tyson behind Brandon, who leads the line for Paok. Aberdeen all in red with gold flashes. Paok in their traditional home colours as well, the black and white stripes, white shorts, white socks and the black tops. And Aberdeen have been turned before the ball is kicked. They're going to shoot towards the beach end in the first half. They normally like to do that in the second. And clearly Paok have won the coin toss, and perhaps that is to do with the wind and the way it's blowing. And they'll want the wind behind them in the second half. And the energy levels are that bit lower than they are at the start of the game. It will be Aberdeen though to kick off, and Connor Barron's going to take the first touch of this one. What can the Dons come up with here? Around about 1,500 Paok supporters have been in the city for the last day or so. Saw them milling around town earlier this afternoon. You're hearing terrific numbers. The Aberdeen fans have come out as well. It is the local tatty holidays, as they call it, just coming to an end this week. So that might well have an impact on the fact that this is not a full house. But the Dons fans who are here are cranking the volume up ahead of kick-off. Connor Barron passes the ball all the way back to Kelarus at the edge of his box. And this game is underway in Europa Conference League Group G. We'll keep up to date with what's happening in Germany, where Eintracht Frankfurt are hosting Helsinki, as Paok clear their lines up to halfway. Jensen with a header to Shinney, and back to Rubičić, who was on international duty with Montenegro, including a game against the country of his birth, Serbia, albeit he wasn't involved in that one. He did make his debut in the friendly before that. As it comes over to Devlin, long ball, Miovski's inside the box, wasn't a great first touch though, and it falls kindly off the defender and bounces back to the keeper Katarski. Willie Miller.
Well, he found a pocket of space there, didn't he? You know, a better touch and, you know, allowing him to get it set up for the strike and goal. It would have been a big opportunity for Aberdeen really early in the game. Good ball in from the wide area too, but it is very windy and you know, really slippy underfoot as well early in the game too, and he just didn't get the right touch on it.
Flick ball up towards halfway by Paok. Rubičić wins the header. It's picked up by Vieirinha on this near side, and little short ball in field finds Stefan Schwab, whose penalty equalised the first leg against Hearts in the capital. Paok picking up the ball just over in the left of the centre circle. It's fired back here to Trustekong. and turns back into his own half and rolls it to Kyliarakis. 19 years of age, he's already in the Greek senior squad, as is the midfielder Konstantelios. He's just a year older than him, a bit further up the pitch, but they're both involved in the Greek senior squad. So that shows you, Rory Loy, when you look at that and the experience that a lot of these other guys have, be it at international or club level, at some of the best competitions in the world, in Europe certainly. Aberdeen are up against it tonight.
Yes, they are, and Barry Robson alluded to it a good few times in his interview post-match. They're a good side, Liam, with good pedigree, good calibre all over the pitch. However, it's a one-off 90 minutes, and as I said before the game kicked off, I think Aberdeen have shown enough in Europe this season that they can trouble this side. Yeah,
they were filled with regret after the game against HJK here. Spurned opportunities, been a couple of one-on-ones. Miovski and Duke have passed up in the 2 home European matches so far. That comes all the way through to the goalkeeper, Katarski. The wind does seem to be picking up ever so slightly as the long ball from the keeper's picked up by Jensen, who finds Miovski, back to Shinnie, out to McKenzie on the near side, down the line for McGrath, looks up, gets the cross ball in, bounces across the penalty area and away out to the other side. Devlin's going to get onto it, level with the 6, he plays it in, but it's a poor ball and comfortably held onto by Katarski. But already there's a few signs of encouragement in the final third for Aberdeen, Willie.
Yeah, I think it's a good early start. They want to be positive. On the other hand, they don't want to be leaving any opportunities for Paok, and they've set up, I think, in a pretty disciplined way. It loses Opalvara, and McGrath is going to try to get up and support Majowski up top, so it's not as if he's going to be isolated, but at the same time I think Barry Robson's looking to try to keep it tight early in the game.
Majowski wins the flick brilliantly, McGrath goes down, the flag's up on the far side. I think offside's the decision rather than a foul though, and Paok have a free kick at the edge of their box. But I think these conditions could play into Aberdeen's hands here in this first half. You can see clearly why Paok have turned them, because it is blustery out there as Aberdeen look to find a victory. It would just be the 6th win in Europe this season for Scottish clubs if they manage to do it. This is the 25th game, and out of the 24, including the Rangers draw in the Czech Republic earlier, just 5 wins out of those 24 games. This is why the coefficient's falling off a cliff. And that's rolled out to the left of the centre circle and picked up here by Kyliarakis. You got the late winner against Frankfurt in the last round of matches. Long ball out to this near side's actually been kept in play by Zivkovic. Gets the cross into the Aberdeen box for the first time tonight, and Jensen slices it out for a Paok throw-in on the near side. 0-0 after 4.
Yeah, the way Aberdeen was set up, you've got Graham Shinnie and Conor Barron in there. I have to say I'm glad that Conor Barron's in the starting 11. He made an awful big difference when he came on against Helsinki, and he's been in good form of late.
Shinnie did well there. He was being crowded out, 3 or 4 Paok players around him. He just took a touch knowing the challenge was coming, and he wins the free kick, and it takes the pressure off his defenders. Yeah, Conor Barron's a little buzz bomb in the midfield, and been desperate to get him fit and raring to go, and he clearly looks to have benefited from having the pre-season under his belt as well, as Roos collects inside his own box and slips it out to Richard Jensen on this near side. At walking pace, out to the main stand he comes, long with the left foot. Miovski gives chase, and will come all the way through to Katarski, but it's something that Aberdeen could utilise in this first half, the long ball, because already there's been a couple of them, and you can see that Trustekong and Kyliarakis aren't entirely comfortable dealing with it.
Yeah, but the problem with the one Jensen just played, it was far too straight. As a former striker, you want that one in the corner, you want to chase it into the space and put the defender under pressure. If it's too straight, it'll just run right through the goalkeeper.
Cool defending from Garteman there, up against Brandon, the Spanish striker, Brandon Thomas. Little header, just knocked it over the striker, and then he lumps it away, safety first. I mean, it looks like an impressive campaigner, Garteman. Willie, have you been impressed with him yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think most of the signings that have come in, pretty late in the transfer window as well, have been impressive. I think at times Aberdeen, I think what they're struggling to do is put a full 90 minutes together. I think in patches of games they've played extremely well, and other patches that they haven't really taken part, and I think you're still looking for them to put it all together, and this would be a great night to put it all together. But yeah, Garteman's looking pretty impressive, as the other 3 central defenders that they brought in. Even Rubezic seemed to have calmed down a little bit, rather rash in his early games, but he seems to have calmed down a little bit.
Yeah, he's looking more the part as Shinnie leaves a bit, and Zivkovic there was no free kick. They did play the ball out though.
I'm not even convinced he touched him there, Liam. I'm really not convinced he touched him.
He's continuing the acting then, because he's limping down on this near side.
Yeah, I think he was going to stay down, then he realised how cold it was and thought, no, I better get up and get on with it.
It's back with Katarski, the Paok goalkeeper, just at the edge of his penalty area. Aberdeen with just the 1 point. Paok with 2 wins out of 2 and in good shape. Katarski eventually picks the ball up. He was just standing there taunting McGrath and Miovski, and eventually McGrath made a slight move towards him, so he does pick it up. He's on to it now, long ball forward. Rubezic with a header, goes back towards his own goal, but it's broken to Garteman. He takes a touch, then lumps it up high into the air. McGrath battling for it with Trustekong. Shinnie managing to pinch it back and going down there, and that's going to be an Aberdeen free kick. And this is in a pretty good position here, maybe just slightly shy of being 25 yards from goal, slightly left to centre. He's won a couple of them already, Shinnie, and this one is in a really promising attacking position for Aberdeen. 7.5 on the clock at 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, Graham Shinnie does show good energy. You know, and he has a leader out there as well, and you know, it's just a long ball up. It's not dealt with particularly well by the Paok defender, and he's right up on top of it. Good pressure on the ball, gets a little touch on it. No doubt that it's a free kick in a tasty situation.
Miovski and Barron are over it. McKenzie's there too. Can't imagine it'll be he. Barron with the right or Miovski with the left. 3-man Paok wall. It's going to be Barron, right-footed. He's gone for goal, but it floats over the bar, and it will stay goalless at Pittodrie.
One thing I noticed in the build-up to that free kick, disappointing in the end from Conor Barron, is in these situations, if you are playing a 3-5-2, 4-5-1, whatever you want to call it, 5-4-1, a striker can become very isolated very quickly, and what Barry Robson's been good at is getting Jamie McGrath in touch with Miovski, and it all comes from McGrath being in touch with him, being up the pitch, winning free kicks, and then Graham Shinnie getting up on the second ball whilst Conor Barron just protects the defence.
Long ball into the Paok box. The defender Koulirakis won the header. He had to. Miovski was in behind him, and I think the Aberdeen fans claiming that went over the byline for a corner. It is just a Paok ball still in play according to the officials. Your Austrian Stefan Gisema in the middle, and it's now a long ball forward by Katarski, away out to that far side. Underneath it with the header is Nicky Devlin, drops down onto the head of Barron. Paok pick up wide in the left to Tyson, and they've got a couple of runners out on this near side as well. It's been switched out to the right flank, and it's with Zivkovic. Rolls it back infield, picked up there by the number 7 Konstantelias. Out to the left again, and it's an opportunity perhaps for Tyson to cross. He's under pressure though. He managed to slip it to Brandon, who goes back into the midfield. Trustekong collects and moves it out to Vieirinha on this near side. Side football back into his own half. Barry Robson animated down at the edge of his technical area there, looking for his team to keep things tight. Paok enjoying their first real spell of possession in the game, almost 10 in. Big switch out to Vieirinha on this near side. McGrath comes to meet him as the Paok skipper moves in field, then knocks it forward into the feet of Zivkovic. Just moves it back the way. Picked up here by Schwab. And the switch out to Koulirakis. He's gone for the spectacular. His effort's been blocked on the 18-yard line by his own man, and he couldn't quite make it work as Brandon tried to trap it at the edge of the box. And Aberdeen are able to clear, and it's a long one from Devlin. Miovski gives chase out on the right. He's on it now. Support arriving in this potential attack. Forward to Polvara, who can't really get the touch on it that he would have liked. And Rafa Suarez puts it out for an Aberdeen throw-in, about level with the Paok penalty spot, right in front of the visiting support. The impressive visiting support here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aberdeen, you know, getting everybody behind the ball, going back to, you know, round about that 20 yards, but looking really quickly to hit Paok on the break, and Nicky Devlin plays a lovely ball up, but Polvara's movement is excellent as well, so it gets you up the park.
Long throw into the box is headed away by Koulirakis. It's picked up wide on that far side by Brandon. Forced back the way though. He's done well, he's dug it out, and that'll be a free kick to the visitors for a foul over there by Gartenman, and it will be around about the midway point of their own half. Paok maybe slightly further back than that. Earlier in Europa League Group C, Rangers getting out of the Czech Republic with a point, 0-0 at Sparta Prague. Real Betis won in Cyprus against Aris, and here in the Conference League goalless in the still relatively early exchanges here on this crucial night for Aberdeen, as they try and get themselves kick-started in this group. Eintracht Frankfurt, by the way, have gone 1-0 up against Helsinki in Germany, Nivald Stadion. Here come Paok down the left, little ball in field, picked up. What a lovely turn that is. Great skill, the shot's off the post, wonderful play. It really was absolutely outstanding from Konstantelios. It's hit the post, but Aberdeen are hitting on the counter here with Miovski, who then pops it off the heel of the defender, comes bouncing back off his hand, and that will be a free kick to Paok. But what wonderful skill up the other end by Giannis Konstantelios. He sat about 3 Aberdeen defenders down, and his shot, which was a pass towards the bottom left corner, came bouncing off the goal frame and away to safety, and Aberdeen have dodged a bullet big time.
Yeah, they have there. Miovski's a little bit unlucky as the ball goes up the other end. However, Konstantelios, my goodness me, the composure to sit 2 players down, to have the composure and then shift it by the third and try and find the corner. He's extremely unlucky. You know, you could argue that Aberdeen could maybe, well, you'll know about this, stay on their feet maybe. I don't know, a lot of them drop to the ground, but don't take anything away from the skill.
It deserves a goal, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
I mean, if that ends up in the back of the net, that's true magnificence. The skill that's shown there, the way he's danced round the Aberdeen players, absolutely right. They've got to be, you know, stronger and stay on their feet, but the skill was fabulous.
That's wonderful. The 20-year-old. Here's Zivkovic. Paok coming forward again. The long, deep cross flicked away by Devlin. And Aberdeen have got away with one there. You'll know that. There may be times tonight when you're up against this class of opposition that you will have to ride your luck at times. As Miovski is brought down by Virinha, but the referee's OK with the challenge, and he goes out for a Paok throw-in. Barry Robson's over having a go at the 4th official. That's not going to do him any good. The moment's gone. The ref didn't see it as a foul.
It's no free kick. It's absolutely no free kick. He's thrown himself to the ground. Actually, he's lucky the referee doesn't speak to him. Miovski's a very good player, but you know, you don't want to see players throwing themselves to the ground like that.
13.5 on the clock, 0-0 at Pittodrie. Just a reminder, 1-0 Eintracht Frankfurt against HJK. There's Paok in possession over on that far side. Little ball in field by Suarez. He's back on it and he switches it left to right of the centre circle for Troost Ekong. He takes it forward at walking pace, slips it out to Virinha on this near side, and back to Troost Ekong. The ball in field, Konstantelios comes forward, his pass towards Schwab is challenged well, and Aberdeen clear, but this game's beginning to settle into a little bit of a pattern here, and it's to the benefit of the visitors. It's collected by Tsingaris. And out to the far side, Tyson, who switches it back over to the right. Virinha via Troost Ekong. Long ball, Virinha into the Aberdeen box. Headed away by Jensen. McKenzie gives chase. He gets there first and finds McGrath, who's able to keep it in play. Immediately under pressure, but immediately fouled as well down below us by Brandon. And that will be a free kick to Aberdeen, and that just relieves some of the pressure that Aberdeen rear guard has been coming under over the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I think, you know, looking at their manager of Paok, Razvan Lukescu, he's looking for this team to move the ball a little bit quicker, because Aberdeen, whilst they are camped in their own half at times, you know, they're pretty comfortable, and if Paok want to try and go through the middle, it is going to take a bit of brilliance, like Konstantelios had a moment ago, to try and break that down, because that's where all Aberdeen's numbers are.
This season's been a bit of a mixed bag for Aberdeen. They've got a League Cup semi-final to look forward to, coming up a week on Saturday, but they've only won 4 of their 14 matches this campaign up to press. And one of those was against Stirling Albion in the League Cup. So they need to start firing on all fronts. Huge games to come, including this one. And that match at Hampden coming up on Saturday week. 2 really important away league games before that as well, at Kilmarnock and Motherwell.
I would say that they're playing the long game tonight, aren't they, Aberdeen? You know, there isn't very much pressure on the ball at all. They seem to be quite happy to, you know, go back and defend deep, and hopefully I'll let you explain.
Kellerus was inviting the challenge there when it came to him, and he's a little bit fortunate, and he managed to slip the pass out to his right before he was caught on it. And Aberdeen get it away. It's deep inside the Paok half now, and over on that far side with Koulirakis, who actually made a a big mistake to allow Eintracht Frankfurt in for their equaliser on match day 2, but he made up for it. A scrambled finish in stoppage time. Paok made it 2 wins from 2 at the start of Group G. And they have it again here with Constantelias, who hit the post a few minutes ago. Out to Tyson, comes back from Rafa Suarez to Constantelios, now collected by Stefan Schwab, switches it out wide right for Vieirinha. Level with the Aberdeen 18, the right angle of the box. What a wonderful ball in that was. It just caught the wind. It's gone behind for a goal kick, but it's not too far away from Brandon Thomas, who was 6 yards out, and it just floated so invitingly for a striker to stick the head on it, and it's gone behind. Fortunately, from an Aberdeen point of view, for a goal kick to the host. 17 in, Aberdeen 0, Paok 0.
It's a tester, isn't it? You know, you put it into a space, you're really not looking for the striker Brandon there as the cross comes in. You're posing the question to Roos, does he come and take that? Perhaps he should have, but I felt that the wind, you know, got a hold of it as well, and there's a little bit uncertain between him and his central defenders, but it was an appetising cross into the box.
You can see that the elements are playing their part, especially when it goes up to Miovski. It's swirling everywhere. The centre-backs of Paok have missed a couple of headers, so Aberdeen will need to try and take advantage of that, but the problem is it's actually fooled Miovski a few times.
Miovski looks a little bit isolated as well just now, Rory.
He does, and I touched on the fact that Jamie McGrath needs to get close to him, and they have done that well, especially over in Frankfurt, where he could have became very isolated. The last 10 minutes, as you say, Liam, the game's followed a little bit of a pattern. Paok starting to take control.
And Barron, first time ball out to the right hand side for Devlin. Barron continues his run, Devlin gives it back to him, but it's a pretty weak attempt at finding Miovski with the outside of the boot, and Paok block and clear their lines pretty comfortably. Collected by Gartenmann, who goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Roos to the edge of his box, out to this near side for Jensen. Wasn't a great touch by Richard Jensen. Gets away with it. McKenzie comes in and boots it off Zivkovic, but it's come back off him last and out for a Paok throw-in on this near side. It's been a tough opening 18.5 minutes for Aberdeen so far to try and settle into this, doing a lot of work off the ball just now. Paok touching 70% in the possession stakes. It's shifted out to Suarez over on that left-hand side. Little ball in field to Constantelias. Back the way it comes to Suarez. Switches it to right of the circle here for Trustekong. Midway inside Aberdeen territory. Rolls it low out to Vieirinha on this near side. Short ball infield to Singaras. To the edge of the centre circle for Kulirakis. Worked out to the left-hand side for the number 11, the Brazilian Tyson. Infield it comes to Singaras. His ball forwards cut out by Barron, but it breaks to Constantelias. He chips it into the box, and it goes behind harmlessly for an Aberdeen goal kick. It is 0-0 here in the Granite City.
Well, the repercussions of not taking their chances against Helsinki and being sitting slightly more comfortable in the group is that at some point Aberdeen will have to come out, because you would imagine they'll need to take the 3 points if they've any ambitions of qualifying, especially with Frankfurt winning at home this evening. So not a bad start from Aberdeen. They look very defensively disciplined, but I think ideally they'd like to have more of the ball rather than be chasing the ball around.
It's very cautious, isn't it? You know, you can see the setup. It's very defensive minded, and I think you can take the fans with you as long as you don't lose anything. They're very lucky not to be 1-0 down, and if that had happened, then I don't think the fans stay with you then playing this with this type of tactics. I think they've got to put more pressure in the ball. I think they're sitting off the ball far too easily.
Yeah, there's Vieirinha with a shot blocked by Jensen inside the box. Polvara's lost sight of it. Suarez has it, left-hand side of the Aberdeen box. They've got plenty behind the ball to the Dons, and it's slipped all the way back to Schwab, who moves it out to the left-hand touchline. Suarez in field, Tyson back out to the left for Suarez. Little ball back to the edge of the penalty area. Opportunity here for Constantelias to Zivkovic. Back to Constantelias, right hand side of the 6-yard box. Shinnie claims goal kick, and he's getting one. It was a good challenge by Graham Shinnie. He's knocked it back off Constantelias, and that will be a goal kick to Aberdeen, and it will stay nothing each, almost on 21.
I mean, you take the goal kick, but Paok are working the ball into the box, and you think if they can do that more often and they keep doing it, then eventually one of these movements, one of these passages of play are going to end up with the ball in the back of the net, and when you're defending as deep as Aberdeen are defending, then chances are going to come.
I'm surprised Rafa Suarez didn't whip that one into the box, to be honest with you. He had a a yard of space to be able to do that. He tried to be too intricate at times.
Here they come again. Paok slipped forward by Konstantelias to Zivkovic inside the penalty area. He goes away from Jensen, blasts it across towards the 6-yard line, headed away by Devlin. Shinnie prevents it going behind for the corner and lumps it clear. But this is seriously hard work for Aberdeen and their supporters watching this. It's all about Paok right now. They're in terrific form, just one defeat in 16 games this season. Lost to OFI of Crete on the island at the start of September before the first international break. But they've been in terrific form by and large. Just a few points off Olympiakos at the top of the Greek Super League after a 2-0 win over Atrimitos at the weekend, as they try and, once again, having done so in 2019, break the Athens stranglehold of the top flight in Greece. 0-0 though. Aberdeen have got through just about the first quarter of this without conceding. Here's the man who's come closest on the ball, Giannis Konstantelias. Works a 1-2 with Kyriakis. It's back with the big defender. He switches it to his central defensive partner, Trustekong, and then out to Vieirinha on this near side. The ball back to Trustekong, and then he slips it to Kyriakis. It's almost like a front four that Paok are playing with. I mean, they've got the one man leading the line in Brandon, but I say front four, possibly even a front five when they're in possession.
I tell you what, Konstantelias for a 20-year-old looks an exceptional talent. His intelligence and his movement, his receiving of the ball, his skill. They've got a right talent on their hands, Paok.
Yeah, and he's always looking for that little bit of space, isn't he? You can see that when he's not on the ball. Paok have it with Vieirinha on this near side. He's at the other end of his career, 17 years. Konstantelios is senior, the skipper. Zivkovic picks up wide on the right, up against McKenzie, level with the penalty spot, rolling it back the way to Schwab, into the edge of the centre circle. Aberdeen getting a bit of a lesson here right now. The crowd's still with them though, because it is 0-0. If Paok breach Aberdeen, that could be a different story. Long ball floated into the box by Zivkovic, looking for Konstantelias, and Aberdeen hook it clear through McGrath. They got it back again though, it's Zivkovic. He's looking to switch it right to left of the circle, out to the left-hand side for Suarez. Tyson to his left, that's where it goes. Short ball in field to Schwab. Schwab looking up ahead of him, long ball, catches the wind and not in his favour this time. And it sails out for a throw in Vieirinha with the applause for the effort and the idea, and it's gone out for an Aberdeen throw-in on this near side. Willie, you must be struggling to watch this right now.
Yes, it's a bit painful. I can understand why it isn't a full house if they were expecting this type of performance. I think Aberdeen can be cautious, but they've got to offer something in terms of putting pressure on the ball. They can't just be spectators just now. That's what they're doing. They're just falling back. The four in midfield, the five at the back. Miovski up top himself, but I'm not putting any pressure in the ball. I think there comes a point where you've got to try and win the ball back and do something with it. It's still 0-0. The tactics are still working, but it's not an easy watch.
It certainly isn't. Aberdeen losing possession again, and here come Paok, long switch out to Zivkovic. Looked like a handball, yeah, right in front of the linesman. Free kick to Aberdeen down on this near side. Just the one win at Pittodrie so far this season. It was the 4-0 over Ross County last time out. Feels like a while ago now. They were held by bottom of the table St Johnstone in that 0-0 draw again. They were so profligate. They had several chances in the final 20 minutes. It's when they came to life in the match. They haven't been starting games particularly well this season, as they try and get a foothold in this one. Kilarus over the free kick on this near main stand side for Aberdeen, the Aberdeen left. Long ball forward is pretty aimless in the end, and it's going to sail behind for a goal kick, and Paok with possession back. They'll have a chance to build another attack. 0-0 here.
Barry Robson's not happy with Kilrush there. It's not a well executed ball up to Miovski, to be fair, but I mean, he's got nothing on in terms of anybody looking for the ball. It had to be that long ball. I think he was wanting more height on it, Robson, so Miovski could challenge, but with the elements and conditions, you would ideally like to get the ball on the deck more if you could.
Yeah, I think if you're going to play that type of long ball, then you've got to try to set something up, and maybe even get Nicky Devlin with Miovski, because he's pushing forward quite a bit, Devlin, and get the two of them, and then at least you've got a target like Roos is trying to find just now, and you can then maybe work something. But just to play, I actually think it was nearer McGrath than anybody else, that ball that was played forward. It ended up, it wasn't near anybody.
It's almost that fear, even when they're attacking, that they're going to concede a goal. When they've got to have a little bit, I heard James McFadden talking last night on Sportsound, a little bit more belief in themselves, based on a number of things that I spoke about before the game, that they can actually go and cause problems. Yes, you're going to leave yourself exposed at times, but the nature of the way the group lies at the moment, you're going to have to take that risk.
Free kick Aberdeen, meantime, a handball in the Paok half, level with the edge of the centre circle on the right-hand side. Aberdeen attacking the beach end in this first half. Connor Barron and Jack McKenzie are over. It's going to be Barron just to whip it behind the defence. He's found McGrath, takes a touch on the chest, just takes him away from goal. He's gone down as well, bounces straight back up to his feet, to be fair to him. Paok have it back, Polvara slides in, goal kick off Polvara for Paok, and it's 0-0.
Yeah, it wasn't that. No, definitely wasn't a penalty. I don't think there was enough contact for McGrath to go down the way he did. It was a well-constructed free kick. I would be tempted, I know they work on these things, but the nature of the conditions and the wind, I'd be tempted just to float it into the box and see where the ball lands. It sounds ridiculous and, not very well thought out, but it's causing havoc anytime the ball's in the air. It's swirling everywhere. Just clip it in and put Paok under pressure.
Yeah, at times you don't really have to think too much. I think when the conditions are like this, you're absolutely spot on. You put it into an area, you don't actually have to pick anyone out. Just put it in an area and invite your strikers to go and try and win it.
Good challenge by Rubičić, but the loose ball has broken Pauk's way. Slipped forward by Singaras, out wide right comes to Zivkovic, got it from Konstantelias. Zivkovic's ball is blocked there by Jensen, and behind it goes for a Paok corner down on this near side as they attack the goal to the right. Almost on 28, nothing each. Paok are knocking on the door. The Aberdeen medical team have a bit of a concern for Slobodan Rubičić. He's just got himself back to his feet inside the Don's box. We've got everyone back to defend this corner.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see who's picking up William Troost-Ekong, because he is an absolute powerhouse of a defender. He's a big lad, and I'd imagine he'll be one of the targets.
Corner will be taken here by Andrea Zivkovic on this near side. 8 goals in 16 games for Zivkovic this season, including that one at Tynecastle. In swinger with the left foot coming up from this main stand side. He's actually taken it low into the box, gets it back immediately, fires it towards the penalty spot. It all breaks down. He's annoyed with himself because he's fired it out for a throw-in over on the other side of the pitch, as that set play from the training ground falters badly. Aberdeen 0, Paok 0. The fact it's 0-0 is the big plus for Aberdeen right now. We kind of felt, Willie, that this might be a game that would suit them, because when they're expected to win games, they're favourites to win games, they've struggled, not just this season.
Yeah, I think when they're going to be difficult to beat if they line up the way they've lined up, with the 4 in the midfield, 5 at the back, and not really too much ambition going forward. It's just the lack of that ambition that's bothering me. I think, the setup is okay, but I don't think that you can just, when they've got possession, just allow them to have the amount of time that they've got on the ball and work it towards 20-30 yards out, and you just feel that something might come off of that. But you're absolutely right. The tactics so far is there for everybody to see. They want to keep it 0-0, they want to keep it tight, and they want to get into at half time not being down, and then maybe in the second half you see a little bit more ambition.
Shinnie picks up in the midfield over on his left-hand side. He's got McGrath to his left. Shinnie goes himself, rolls it low into Miovski's feet inside the box. Under pressure though, it just got away from him. Paok clear, only half away. Shinnie keeps it alive, rolls it wide left for McGrath. Back to the left angle of the box for Shinnie. Drops the shoulder, drives forward, smashes it across, and Troost-Ekong puts it out for a throw-in over on this near side. That was better.
Yes, it was. Graham Shinnie has probably been at the heart of most things good offensively for Aberdeen. It's a lovely touch around the defender. Just wondering, can he hang it up? Maybe makes the wrong choice, but don't want to be too critical because it was a nice bit of play.
Means goalless here. Eintracht Frankfurt with a 1-0 lead against HJK, as Jensen with the long throw. Flicked on by an Aberdeen player, but Paok clear, and it's Konstantelias back there, and then smashing into the challenge with Shinnie again, and Zivkovic, who is not happy with Graham Shinnie's attention in the game. Shinnie telling Zivkovic to get back to his feet as the Serbian winger lies on the deck. He's not happy one iota with the attention Graham Shinnie's giving him. He's one of the best players on the Paok side. He was in the Serbia team, starting for Serbia as they edged closer to Euro 2024 last week. scored one of their goals at Frankfurt. He's now taking some criticism from the Don supporters down below us. That goes out on the reverse side for an Aberdeen throw-in. It's taken by Gartenmann.
Liam, it's just a strong tackle. It's a fair tackle. He goes, he wins the ball. Zivkovic isn't happy with it. Well, so what? It's a fair tackle, and it's, you know what it is, it's lifting the crowd, it's lifting the team as well, and that's what captains have to do from time to time.
Zivkovic actually played at the World Cup for Serbia last year as well. Here's McKenzie for Aberdeen on the left-hand side. The overlap comes from Shinnie. McKenzie steps in field. He has a shot at goal, and it flies over towards Fitty, to be perfectly honest with you, and it's going to be a goal kick here for Paok. It stays 0-0, 32 on the clock.
It was actually a really good, really good run by Graham Shinnie, but it meant that McKenzie naturally had to go inside, and you know, that's quite clearly standing foot for a reason.
It is, and just if you're on Google Maps and you're looking for Fitty, I don't know if it's on Google Maps.
Foot D, it would say on the map, I would say. Here is Conor Barron on the far side, and he's won a throw-in off the corner flag. It bounced off the flag and behind for a throw-in. Could have gone the other way for a corner. Have to settle for the throw. As Aberdeen joined probably their best spell in the game.
Yeah, and it was a lovely touch from Miovski round the corner to get it out wide to McKenzie. I think ideally he would have liked to slip Shinnie in, but in fairness to I think it was Zivkovic, he'd worked back the way.
Long throw into the box is headed clear. Polvara was in behind. Barron heads it back towards the Paok box. Comes off Polvara, and they're able to ease it away, are the Greeks. Garten managed to chase it. He's under pressure from Tyson. Has to be careful. He slips it in field, and he's done really well to find Rubidzic, who then loses it, and Paok have it back. Konstantelias won it back, and now Brandon has it left hand side, head down. Gartenmann trying to get back goal side of him, and he does. Brandon rolls it back the way to Suarez. Now it's Paok picking up in the midfield, and it's slipped forward by Tyson. We've got a couple on the 18-yard line. Konstantelias, Zivkovic is there. There's support from Schwab as well. It's eventually slipped out to Trustekong on this near side. Low ball out to Virinha wide on the right, level with the Aberdeen 18. Just knocking it back to Trustekong, and he shifts it square ball there to Kylirakis. Out to Suarez, down the line to Tyson. Gartenmann sticking with him. Comes off the Dane, and he couldn't quite keep it in play though, and that's going to be a Paok throw-in in the attacking third over on that south stand left side for Paok, with about 11 minutes to play until the break. Nothing each. Relatively calm conditions now compared to kick-off. The wind seems to have died down a little bit as it's picked up by Virinha wide on the right. Level the Aberdeen penalty spot, now the angle of the area, and he slices his cross badly and hopelessly out for a throw-in on the other side of the pitch. 0-0.
I think it's a competition between him and Jack McKenzie there as to who can get the ball furthest from the goal with a shot. But yeah,
sorry, was that a shot?
Yeah, well, it looked like a shot to me. I don't think you would try and cross the ball with that much power. I don't know what Willie thinks, but
it was a shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like McKenzie. It's on his bad foot. Same with McKenzie, and no control. He's had a
3-0 Frankfurt, by the way.
Wow, huge big backswing, and you know, it goes out for a throw on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, I've just seen a replay of it. It was a shot.
Yeah.
But 3-0 time try Frankfurt. That's how you deal with HJK Helsinki at home. Aberdeen to settle for a 1-1 draw, and they could pay a big price. A lot more pressure on this game tonight because of that result. And Zivkovic rolling it back into the midfield now. Virinha then knocked forward up towards Konstantelias, doesn't get onto it. Aberdeen clear. Miovski gives chase, but Kylirakis gets there first, goes back to his keeper, and the Croatian Katarski, the long ball up to the centre circle. Gartenmann pushes it forward to Polvara. Here's Barron to Shinnie. Shinnie out to McKenzie on this near side. The Aberdeen supporters perhaps will forgive him that effort a few minutes ago, given his exploits at Ibrox a month or so back. Long ball forward, there's one in the air there by Trustekong, out on the far side, one back by Devlin to Polvara, and now to Shinnie. Shinnie has it, strong, holds off his marker, rolls it out wide left to McKenzie, level with the edge of the D of the Paok box. Infield to Polvara, back to McKenzie. McKenzie under pressure, manages to roll it at close quarters to Polvara, to McGrath, and then to McKenzie again. McKenzie finds Polvara at the byline, down by the corner flag on this near side, finds McGrath. McGrath looks up, Little decoy there, little dummy, gets it back, right-footed cross into the box, is booted to safety from round about the penalty spot by Paok. Klirakis, Rubedzic is in trouble, looked like it came off his hand there, and he's got away with it. The Paok bench are furious they're not getting a free kick for that one. It looked as though it clearly came off the hand of Rubedzic. Not that Aberdeen are complaining. Here comes Jamie McGrath, side to the ground by Schwab, who's clearly irate about the fact the referee missed the handball by Rubedzic. It's a yellow card for the Austrian midfielder, and Aberdeen have a free kick in an attacking position, left to centre, and again maybe 25 yards from the goal.
Well, I'm dumbfounded as to why and how the referee reached the decision that Paok did not get a free kick there, and then as the play was going on, he was looking at his fourth official as if to say, help me out here, when it was clear and obvious, and then Aberdeen feel they should have a foul. He misses that, and then he scythed down McGrath, and quite rightly a free kick's given. I just hope that Aberdeen don't overcomplicate it this time. Get it in the box, attack it. You've got three big centre backs up there, and see if we can grab a goal.
Yeah, the referee looked as though he was going to blow his whistle there, didn't he? I think he actually motioned to put it up, but
he panicked.
How he didn't see it. I mean, everybody in the stadium saw it. Clearly hits Rubezic's hand as it bounced up. Didn't deal with it particularly well. Rubezic at times a little bit awkward dealing with the long ball.
Barron will take the free kick. It's a delicate delivery into the area. It's flicked away. Paok for the sliced clearance, more height than distance, drops in the 18-yard line. Schwab manages to flick it clear, and here's Konstantelios. Lovely flick away from Barron. He's able to roll it out to this right-hand side for Zivkovic. It's away from Shinnie. Lovely skill. He's managed to move it through to Konstantelios in the box. Lovely footwork chance. Little chip, but saved by Roos. What a wonderful counter-attack there from Paok, and Konstantelios is wondering how on earth he hasn't scored. He had the best chance of the game before that one, and that was an opportunity just to clip it over Keller-Roos, who managed somehow to make the save. 7 from the break, 0-0.
Well, that was absolutely devastating on the counter-attack. Zivkovic drives forward, Shinnie tries his best to trip him up, he manages to dance away from him, and then Konstantelios, what a touch that is. He tries to lift it over Keller-Roos, who's a big goalkeeper, and makes the save, but magnificent to watch that standard of football.
Maybe put his laces through it.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to round off the touch and make it look better than it would have had to look.
It's funny, I think his manager was furious with him there. Down on this near side, he was fully expecting Konstantelios to have opened the scoring there, and he's had a couple of chances. He hit the post earlier on, and his coach Razvan Lucescu, Romanian, whose father is actually one of the most decorated managers in European football. His dad currently in charge of Dynamo Kiev, and had a really incredible spell at Shakhtar Donetsk, won 8 titles at Shakhtar. But his son's done a pretty good job at Paok. He won the League and Cup double in 2019. He went to Saudi Arabia for a couple of seasons, and then he was brought back. The club he was at was the one that Neymar has signed for. As Aberdeen pick up a throw-in over on this near side. Richard Jensen, long one coming here from this main stand side. Edging towards half-time, long from Jensen into the box. It's bounced off a Paok player. Aberdeen claiming handballs. McGrath, a little shot at goal. It's blocked though and cleared by Zivkovic. Into the midfield, Garteman meets it, but it's a long one from him which sails behind for the goal kick, and it will stay Aberdeen 0, Paok 0. Bang on 40.
Yeah, Barry Robson's not happy there. He wanted, I think it was Garteman to take the ball down and show a bit more composure, and I think when you've chased the ball for such long periods of the match, feel better to make a couple of passes and get your breath back. But again, I think there's a little bit of a fear that if they do make a mistake or give the ball away, that Paok are so devastating on the transition that they'll get picked off.
Well, forward, it's a foul by Rubedzic on Brandon, who's down, slapping the turf in apparent agony. He rubs the back of his head. It's almost like he's trying to make it look worse than it is to get Rubedzic in the book, because they're still aggrieved that the ref didn't give a handball against the new Montenegro international a few minutes ago. And there's a Paok free kick this time in the midfield, just outside the centre circle. Schwab took it quickly. It eventually comes out to Vieirinha on this near side, and rolls it back low into his own half for Trustekong. He in turn was back to Katarski. 7 clean sheets in his 15 appearances in goal for Paok this season. He has it at his feet right now. Just taking his time over this. The flag's over in the south stand over there, and Paok, I see there's a Paok flag fluttering away in pretty rapid fashion as McKenzie puts it behind for a corner.
He's 3 yards offside.
Thought it was offside, yeah. And you're just waiting for the flag to go up, aren't you?
And corner's been given.
Yeah.
And Stefan Gartenman is having a go at the referee just now. How costly is this going to be for Aberdeen? Corner to Paok over on this near side. Paok right as they attack the goal to the right, the Merklin Road end. 2 over it, Zivkovic and Virinha. Zivkovic with the in-swinger, or Virinha with the outswinger. What's it to be? Zivkovic leaves it, will be the outswinger with the right from Virinha into the box. It comes as a header at goal, which is held on to. It was Schwab who got his head to it, down into the ground, but it's straight at Kellerus, and it stays Aberdeen 0, Paok 0 on 42.
I think he's got to do better. I mean, he's not under real pressure, is he? He's lost his marker.
Jack McKenzie's ball watching, Willie, I think.
And you know, he's stooping a little bit. I think he's got enough time to see that, and he headers it straight at Kellerus. If he puts it either side, it's ending up in the back of the net. It's a good corner, but poor defensively from Aberdeen.
It's out of play for a throw-in to the Greeks. In fact, it's gone out for Aberdeen on this near side, midway inside the Paok half. Jensen will take it.
They get in this position, Liam, all the time. It was the same in the last game when they launched the ball into the box, but you know, they don't seem to get much joy from it at all.
And yet they continue to do it. And again, no joy that time, albeit he took it a little bit shorter this time. Did Jensen, Paok clear. Now the Aberdeen defenders are all out of position because they've all gone forward for what they were hoping and thinking was going to be a long throw into the box. Turned back by Konstantelias. Kylirakis, long ball forward for Brandon. Aberdeen win it back, and then McKenzie just left it. It's almost like he didn't believe he was going to get there. Here's Zivkovic on the Paok right. Looks for the big switch out to Tyson on that left-hand side. There's the veteran Brazilian in possession, rolling it wide left for Soares. Here is Tyson, a former Brazil international. He was in their squad, the World Cup in Russia 5 years ago. There's Zivkovic wide in the right of the Aberdeen box. Onto the left foot, he bends the ball into the area, but it's beaten everyone and gone behind for the goal kick, and it stays 0-0 as we approach the 44-minute mark. The trouble is, a goalless draw here tonight, or a point for Aberdeen tonight, is a great result if they'd beaten Helsinki 3 weeks ago.
That's what I say, that's the repercussions of not taking your chances against Helsinki, because this performance and the way Barry Robson's set up is fine if you're sitting in the group with 3 points thinking, right, there's opportunities later on in the group to get more points. However, this is a critical point in the match because they've defended well, to be fair to them, Aberdeen. OK, we want to see them more offensive. They've defended well. They've got to go in at half-time, nothing each.
Awkward one to deal with for Kylirakis at the back, but deal with it he does. As he nods it back to his keeper under pressure from McGrath. It's back with Katarski. The final minute of the 45 here. That's whatever the Austrian referee adds on at the end. Paok have it. It was a bit of a mess actually from them, but they've gotten away with it. Aberdeen failed to profit from the loose ball. Here comes Schwab forward, out wide right for Zivkovic. Crucial period this, crucial point this for Aberdeen. Here's Tyson, left hand side of the box. Soares lifts it high over the bar, and it will stay Aberdeen 0, Paok 0. Well, that was a mistake from Paok, which went unpunished and almost ended up in a real opportunity for them in an attacking sense.
Yeah, they got lucky.
Yeah, I think
wow, sorry, I'm just amazed, Willie. It's the first time a half of football is a no stoppage time that I can remember for a heck of a long time. I've cut you off in your prime, but your thoughts on the first half briefly, and then I'll sum it up.
OK, I think the tactics have worked well, as long as you understand what the tactics is, and the tactics are that they're trying to kind of suffocate Paok and not allow them any opportunity in front of goal. Unfortunately, they've had 3 excellent chances, 3 chances that should have ended up in the back of the net, in my opinion. They've offered very little going forward, but I think that's how Barry's lined up his team for tonight.
Yeah, goalless it is at half-time. Konstantelios with 2 wonderful opportunities. The first on 12, fabulous run. He hit the post with a low effort. Paok dominating possession. Aberdeen really struggling to get a grip at any part of this match, and Constantelios with a chip when he probably should have blasted home on 39 when he had another opportunity. Kilarus made the save, and then that Schwab header. Willie mentioned 3 chances. Schwab's one was the most recent. 2 minutes were left when he headed straight at Roos, and that means at half-time here at Pittodrie in Europa Conference League Group G, in a must-win night for the Dons, it's Aberdeen 0, Paok 0.
Aberdeen versus Paok.
Goal! Game on!
This is Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland. This is Sports Sound.
I can't wait for Saturday.
Blair Spittle has scored on the death for Motherwell. Matt O'Reilly has won it with the last kick of the game.
For me, champions find a way, and Celtic tend to do that more often than not.
Good evening to you, Kevin. How are you feeling?
I am feeling sick.
It has been a hard time being a Hibs fan recently. We had the excitement in European competition, and we ended up going out in Birmingham.
Chick Young told us at the start of the programme.
There would be goals in this game.
Chick Young, Queen's Park against Morton.
Yeah, we're still playing.
Behind the wall. What do you make of that tactic now? Some teams are adopting that.
Yeah, I think it's okay as long as it's no wet.
The revelation was that Tom English actually once turned out for Airdrie.
I was a player.
What do you make of that, Emma?
Emma.
Just about the time I started supporting Airdrie.
Well, Kenny, we've got an equaliser. Oh, the St Mirren bench are jumping up and down. Stephen Robinson out of his technical area.
A 96th minute equaliser. Must be an amazing celebrations.
I missed it, Kenny. I'd left early with the D-man.
You couldn't
lie.
Scottish football.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
Goalless here at Pittodrie between Aberdeen and Paok in the other game in the group. In fact, it's just gone 4-0 deep into first half stoppage time. That is now half-time. Frankfurt are absolutely strolling to victory against HJK Helsinki. Junior Dina Mbimbe with a penalty early on. Robin Koch scored in the 27th minute. Omar Marmouche in the 31st. And in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, Tuta has, in fact, that is the nickname of Mbimbe. So he's got 2 goals. He scored in the 12th minute. He's now scored in the 45th. And it is going to be a very convincing win indeed, it seems, for Eintracht Frankfurt. Of course, going into this, it had been 2 wins out of 2 for Paok, with Frankfurt sitting just in behind them. Well, it's clearly going to be a win for Frankfurt this evening. Paok would still be top of the group, but they're going to have to break the deadlock if they're to maintain a 3-point cushion at the top of the table. They've created a few chances. They certainly look the better, more confident team going forward, but it is goalless at half-time. Will Barry Robson, will he be quite pleased with what he has seen in the opening 45 minutes?
I would say probably yes, Richard. I don't think that there's any doubt that with the lineup, with the set-up that they've got, with the 5 at the back, the 4 in the midfield, and just the 1 up top, that he's trying to be mean. He's trying to restrict Paok and creating opportunities, but they have created opportunities. And I think, you know, when you're up against a good team as they are, then they're going to find little chinks in the armour. I would just like to see them being a little bit more aggressive in terms of putting Paok under pressure. I think that they've got control of the ball for most of that first half, and they haven't been asked a question. I think at times Aberdeen have looked a little bit dangerous going forward, but they haven't really created any opportunities. Few set pieces that they've had, that nothing has came off. So I would hope that the tactic would be frustrate them in the first half, see how it goes in the second half, maybe make some changes, you know, bring on more forward thinking players, and I'm thinking Duke in particular would be one that I think that could be a weapon in the second half. I think you can take the fans with you for so long playing this kind of away at home, and I'm okay with it, but I would just like to see it being a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more pressure on the ball, and certainly in the second half as the clock ticks down, and if it's still 0-0, you know, a kind of a thought process that would give the fans you know, the hope that Aberdeen are not just here to settle for a draw, that they want to win the game. And if they can do that, and if they can get the 3 points, then you know, the tactics are good tactics. But it's not an easy watch, Richard, I don't think, if you're an Aberdeen fan, or you know, if you're someone that's looking for Scottish teams to play well in Europe. At the same time, it's probably a desperate situation that Aberdeen find themselves in, and they've got to, you know, try and create something and take the 3 points. Otherwise, a European adventure could probably be over, really, you know, halfway into this programme.
Right, Tom English is still with us from the Glasgow studio. Has it been an easy watch from your point of view, Tom?
Not especially. Constantelius has been easy on the eye a number of times. He looks an absolute class player. Aberdeen are battling, you know, aggressive performance, certainly aggressive first 20-25 minutes. Then Paok, kind of Constantelius, you know, bits of class there. It's like, you know, it's still in the melting pot. It's 0-0. There's just slight shades of Rangers in Prague about it.
Yeah, that was crossing my mind as well.
You know, you think, well, really, Paok should possibly be ahead here. They're not making the same chances that Sparta did, but they kind of have a level of dominance in the game. They look the better side creatively, but it's still 0-0. The goalkeepers haven't exactly been peppered with shots, you know, so it's while I say Paok look a classy team at times, they're not splitting Aberdeen open with their ability, you know. Aberdeen need to put a bit more risk into the game, I think. They kind of need to win this game. A draw would be a credible draw against this opposition, but they need to go after the win. I think they need to put a bit more risk into it. There's a possible, you know, repercussion of that. They leave themselves exposed, but at the moment they just they look like a team that's kind of playing for a draw, happy with a draw, fighting, scrapping for a draw, and I think they need a bit more than that.
Yeah, you talked about Paok not cutting through Aberdeen necessarily. That, I suppose, down to what has been a strong and solid defensive display. You've got the three in the middle of Garten, Mann, Rubezic and Jensen. Devlin and McKenzie have been back the park more than they've been up the park, that's for sure. And ahead of them, you've got Shinnie, you've got Barron, you've got Palpara and McGrath both helping out there as well. So, I mean, and they have kind of closed down in the space. That said, Paok have at times shown real skill, particularly through Constantelius, to get into the box. They've had to do that, I suppose. They've had to show that kind of skill.
Yeah, I mean, that where he kind of cuts his way through and hits the post. I mean, that is a beautiful bit of football. And again, his footwork for the second chance was about 38 minutes in. I mean, he should really score. He tries to get too smart, a bit of a smart aleck, where he tries to dink it over Kelroos. You know, just as Willie said, put your laces through it. Don't mess about. So I think that was very wasteful. Even actually the one that hit the post, I thought he was a bit casual with his finish. He tried to be a bit too smart.
I think it took a bit of a deflection as well. I think so.
But even still, he had an opportunity again to hit it with a bit of force, and he didn't. You know, he tries to kind of cushion it into the corner. Wonderful player, though, isn't he?
Yeah, we don't want any of that nonsense, that skillful nonsense, do we, in this game, Tom?
Well, there certainly hasn't been any danger of Aberdeen producing anything like that, has there?
Aberdeen, I mean, workmanlike, honest, aggressive, focused, all of those qualities, but what they haven't been is dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty one-dimensional, Rory, hasn't it? It's been let's defend in depth, and if we get the ball, we hit it as far up the park as possible and hope to connect with Miovski.
Yes, and given the nature of Paok, and you know, they are a good side, I think that's acceptable to set up the way they have in the first half. Of course, setting up that way, if there is a goal from Paok, everything's out the window after that goal goes in. However, they haven't scored. It's been 0-0. Aberdeen have looked relatively comfortable, but the fact of the matter is they can't live in fear for 90 minutes. At some point, whether it's 60 minutes, 70 minutes, they have to open up. They have to try and get a goal, because if an isolated match, as Tom was talking about last night with Celtic, you know, the isolated match, it was a fantastic match for Celtic. They played ever so well. And it's the same with Aberdeen tonight. In an isolated game, yes, it's a good result to get a draw with Paok. However, if that is going to be their mindset here and in Greece, their qualification hopes, which are still there, are going to die a slow and painful death, because it's a long time, 180 minutes to sit behind the ball. Like I said, for 45 minutes tonight, it's understandable, it's acceptable, and it's worked. However, 60-70 minutes in, that the shackles will need to come off, and they will need to try and get a goal.
Well, we'll find out if indeed, I was going to say if he gets to that point. He is at some stage, because Barry's going to know, Barry Robinson's going to know, Rory, isn't he, that a point in this game does nothing in terms of potentially qualifying from the group.
Yes, and again, I think if this game was played in Greece tonight under these circumstances, I think they would quite happily do this for 90 minutes and try and get out of here nothing each and come back to Aberdeen and try and beat them. They're at home tonight. They are going to come out for 15 minutes and deploy the same tactics. They'll then, in my opinion, put Duke on, try and open up slightly, and try and win the match, which is fine, and fingers crossed that happens and they can do it. But they need to get 10-15 yards further up the pitch when the two central midfielders of Paok have got the ball, because as the game wears on, concentration levels drop, because it's hard to concentrate on that being that organised for that long. Tiredness sets in, those 40-yard runs to close the ball down, your legs get heavier, and things become more difficult, and it's hard to maintain that for 90 minutes. So Aberdeen do need to open up at some point and try and take the game to Paok. I just hope they don't go a goal down early in this second half, otherwise it's a very difficult situation for Barry Robson.
And I do think, Richard, that they've got a responsibility to the fans as well. Listen, we can totally understand where Barry's mindset is in that first 45, and they're still in the game, and it is really difficult when you're playing against 10 men. 10 men just go back, they sit outside their penalty box, they're organised, they're disciplined. It's 5, it's 4, and a goalkeeper behind them. But Paok have created 3 chances. If one of these chances go in, then the tactics haven't worked.
That's how fickle football is as well. Well, you can see if Aberdeen nick one and they win 1-0, he's a genius.
And even at this stage, I'm reluctant to. Okay, I've said it's not easy in the eye, and I'm talking from an Aberdeen point of view, and I think we'd all agree on that. But at the same time, the tactics were there for everybody to see right from the start of the game, and the tactics have worked. It's to stop the opposition scoring goals. But you've got to do more in a game of football. This is a European game as well.
I think it's acceptable for the first half, would you not say, Willie?
I would say that,
at some point it has to change.
Got to change.
Well, I mean, Willie, obviously I've been away in France for the last month or so. Duke, is there any suggestion of him getting back to what he was last season? I guess because the fact he's on the bench tonight would suggest no, but have you seen any sign of a spark there lately?
Well, he doesn't lose his pace, Tom, that's for sure. Yeah, he's had chances. He's had quite a number of chances in Europe in particular, and he squandered them. Good chances that would have made his season so far so much different. But he's got an electric pace. Defenders he'll frighten defenders if he can come on, and if he can get a bit of space, and if Aberdeen can get control of the ball and set him free, and if he's allowed to go up there along with Majowski, later on in the game, if it stays 0-0, then I do think, and if they've got the amount of possession and Aberdeen play the same way, I think he's a real weapon to hitting the break or in transition, whichever way you want to talk.
Yeah, I mean, he is.
He's powerful, he's quick, he's direct, and he can score goals. Just so far this season, he hasn't managed when he's had the chance.
If he's in the right mindset, Willie, because he hasn't looked in any way connected in the games I've seen so far this season. Very occasional flashes, but that's been it.
Why? What are the theories on this?
Oh, I don't know.
Tom, you're
trying to get into players' minds, Tom. Come on.
I think from my opinion, having watched them, now there is an element. People say if you could bottle confidence, it would be magnificent. I just think he's missed chances he would have scored last season. His confidence has taken a bit of a hit. That's then crept into the fans, getting a little bit on his back, and I just think it's possibly a confidence issue, because pace doesn't go away, but his talent doesn't go away overnight either. And I do believe he'll still be a very good player for Aberdeen as the season comes on.
Yeah, Willie has made the point already this season that he was slow last season before he actually got up and running. So it might be that he's just one of those players. Although, let's be honest, we are now at the end of October. You'd be kind of hoping that he might have come alight, and he had come alight by the end of August. last season. I'm just looking at he'd scored 5
It was when Alan
goals.
Preston said he wouldn't get in Hearts team, so maybe Willie needs to get out with Alan Preston again.
Right,
I stand by that.
It was a run of 5 goals in 6 matches at that point. Anyway, teams are back out. Let's hope for well, certainly the 0 for Paok would do, but let's hope for a bit more from Aberdeen in the second half. Liam.
Yeah, Duke, I think he scored that spectacular goal in Dingwall by this point last season, so he'd announced himself as a real top talent, but he's not in the team tonight. We will see him, I'm sure, at some point as Paok get the second half underway, shooting towards the Richard Donald stand, right to left in their black and white stripes. Aberdeen all in red with gold flashes. No changes for either team, so the Dons with Roos in goal, Gartenman, Rubidzic and Jensen, Devlin and McKenzie, Shinnie and Barron, Polvara and McGrath and Mijovski. Paok with Katarski in goal, Vierinia, Trustekong, Kulirakis and Suarez, Chingara, Schwab with Zivkovic, Konstantelios and Tyson behind Brandon as Aberdeen pick up the ball in the midfield. Unusually for them, shooting left to right as we watch from the back of the main stand in the second half. Gartenman's long ball, Mijovski controls in the chest, knocks it out to Devlin, then Barron with a chip ball down the right, Mijovski giving chase again, and he forces the defender Kulirakis to put it out for a throw-in on this near side, a bit level with the Paok penalty spot. And this will be another chance for a long throw.
You think we'll get a long throw? Listen, it might work, but the amount of efforts they've had, let's hope this is the night that it does work.
Not got much of a run-up. Gartenman right up against the wall of the main stand, bowls it into the penalty area, headed away, out towards Barron, who claims a high boot from Tyson inside the box. Few Aberdeen players claiming a penalty. The referee's not interested in those appeals as Devlin then blocks off Brandon down below us, and that's going to be a free kick to Paok. The referee, of course, will be speaking to his video assistant.
I'll be very surprised if this isn't waved play on very, very quickly. I think Barron, ducks his head in. The Paok defender's got every right to go for the ball, and I don't think that's a penalty.
No, it looks like game on. And a couple of penalty appeals, but really weak appeals in this game. Aberdeen. Kulirakis collects the ball here, shifts it forward short to Schwab, then back to Kulirakis. A very late winner against Eintracht Frankfurt in the Toomba Stadium last time out. Looked like it was heading for a draw. It's a loose ball, Barron onto it, got there ahead of Konstantelias, and it breaks back here. Kulirakis who clears, Barron, first time low ball to Devlin on the near side, brought down by Kulirakis, and that's going to be, or Konstantelios rather, that's going to be an Aberdeen free kick. Almost level with the edge of the D of the Paok box. And Konstantelios can't believe that this has been awarded against them.
That's European football, and everybody's gone down with barely a touch, to be honest. Devlin went down there. He's won a free kick. That was the intention. The referee's bought it, and Aberdeen benefit from it.
Barron and McKenzie over it again on this near side. See, this is where you miss Leighton Clarkson, who's on the Aberdeen bench tonight. Barron has displaced him in the team a few times recently, entering the last year of his contract here at Pittodrie. Barron prepares to take, right-footed free kick coming up here. Into the Paok box it comes, bench towards the penalty spot. There is a header at goal, and the goalkeeper makes a little bit of a hash at it as he eventually makes the save down low to his right and gathers at the second attempt. It remains goalless. Aberdeen with an effort on target though, as that came in swirling into the Paok penalty area. And there's another appeal over there on the far side. Jamie McGrath's gone down, and that will be another Aberdeen free kick inside their own half this time, over on that far side.
I think Gartenman does actually really well. He gets good contact on it. He's not far off the edge of the 18-yard box when he makes contact. Tries to guide it into the corner, but Kotarski is pretty comfortable in the end.
He made it look harder than it was. Kotarski. And it's Gartenman who got the final touch on it. And Barron's ball in. And it comes all the way back to Kellerus, the edge of his box. Clears with the left foot, having taken a touch initially. Long ball, too high for McGrath. A break to Trustekong, goes back to his keeper. Mijovski chases it, and Katarski, to look lively, gets to the edge of his box, sliding in and clearing. Here comes McGrath down the left-hand side. The Irish international finds McKenzie, level with the 6-yard line. Back to McGrath, the left angle of the Paok box. Short ball, McKenzie on that far side. He's got it in towards Barron. Mijovski scores! Bojan Mijovski knocks home from close range. wins. It could be one of the biggest goals he's scored in Aberdeen colours. It comes here at Pittodrie against the Greek Super League side Paok on a night that they need to find 3 points in. And it's been the man of the season for them so far, Bojan Miovski, who makes it Aberdeen 1, Paok 0. What a moment early in the second half.
Well, it's great composure from Miovski to find the back of the net, but do not underestimate the part that Jamie McGrath plays in this goal. The goalkeeper with a very poor clearance, very difficult ball to control. McGrath does just that, drives forward, interplays with Jack McKenzie, who eventually gets his ball into the box. And who would you want it to fall to? Bojan Miovski takes his touch, looks up, composes himself, finds the back of the net, and from nowhere Aberdeen find themselves in front.
Yeah, absolutely from nowhere, but good play, and you know, McGrath playing a big part of it out on the left-hand side there, and I think poor defensive work from Paok too, but McKenzie's cross into the box, and it's just one that you fly in. He doesn't know that Miovski's there. He's hoping that someone's there. I think there's actually 2 players at the back post, but Miovski's touch just sets it up, and it's actually quite an easy tap-in because of the touch that he takes just in front of the goalkeeper. So this game has been turned on its head.
The thing is, as well, Willie, I mean, we speak about being ruthless and how Aberdeen have been punished. Well, it's been totally the opposite way tonight, because there's been a couple of chances, as we know, in the first half. Constantelius has missed a few. Aberdeen's first opportunity, boom, 1-0.
They have to win this game. They are leading this game. There was a flare ended up on the pitch that came from the Merkland Road end. I know Aberdeen released a statement earlier. They've been fined in 3 out of their 4 European matches this season. As Zivkovic comes forward up the other end for Paok, looking to hit back with some immediate retaliation here. The pass goes back to Trustekong. He wasn't the intended target. It was Viorina who's on it now. Big switch of play. Aberdeen, important couple of minutes for them here, having just got the lead. Little slip ball towards the edge of the penalty area. Devlin slides in, good challenge. Breaks back here to Constantelius. Little ball forward, cut out by Barron. Breaks back to Constantelius, who shoots over the bar. Was always rising. And Aberdeen's lead is 1-0 here at Pittodrie, almost on 52.
Well, you got to say the tactics have just worked a treat so far anyway, and you would expect Aberdeen to just keep playing the way they have played in that first half. They've got that breakthrough. They haven't created too many opportunities, but that wasn't what Barry Robson was looking for, you know, his team to be ruthless when they, and that's probably the first chance. It is the first chance that they've created in the game, and they've taken it. So you know, absolutely spot on for the Dons.
Here's a chance here. Brandon driving forward, forced out wide left. Back to Suarez. Short square ball in field for Schwab. And now it's with Tyson, midway inside the Aberdeen half. Rolls it wide right for Viorina. Looks up, right foot, his cross comes off McGrath. It's going to go behind for a Paok corner. Over on the far side, right in front of the 1,500 or so Paok supporters who've made the journey from northern Greece tonight.
It's a big 10-15 minutes, Liam. They've went in front. You know, we don't want to be speaking after the game about how vulnerable you are when you take the lead, and you know, that excitement gets to you.
The 2 options over the corner. Again, the outswing, and it's going to be right-footed Viorina, the skipper, and it comes. It was missed there by one of the Aberdeen defenders. Might have been Rubidzic. Comes back into the box. Roos goes up. Was he fouled? It's play on at the moment, and behind it goes. But the flag goes up eventually, just as it looked as though Paok were going to be in to tap home. It will remain Aberdeen 1, Paok 0 on 53.
It's a good delivery from the corner initially, isn't it? And I think Aberdeen a little bit fortunate. I think it was Rubidzic that ran under it, but there was another defender there to clear it. And then it was just a hoof into the box, wasn't it? And Aberdeen again being organised, pushing out and catching the strikers offside.
Aberdeen's last win in Europe was a 2-1 home victory over the Icelandic side Breiðablik, as Devlin knocks it into the Paok box, and he overhits the pass for Polvara, and it comes right through to Katarski. I have to say, Dante Polvara has been on the periphery of this game. He's not got into it at all. The man who got the Aberdeen goal in Frankfurt. Trustekong, not a great touch from him. He's able to leather it clear. Shinnie now picks up forward towards McKenzie. Really good strong play from McKenzie, still on it, evading challenges and switching it out to this near side for Devlin, whose ball into the box is clear. Now it's with Barron, breaks back to Devlin off the defender on the near side, couldn't find Miovski. Back to Devlin, then Barron manages to hook it across, and it's headed away by Kilarakis, and out for an Aberdeen throw in on the near side, level with the Paok 6-yard line.
Well, I spoke about confidence and belief, and if you could bottle that emotion, how beneficial it would be My goodness, since the goal, Aberdeen have looked a different side.
Now you're talking. It's a game of football. It's a game that you can enjoy. It's very pleasant on the eye at this moment in time. And the fans are just hoping Aberdeen can keep this kind of a pressure up.
Still the wind flipping around Pittodrie Stadium as Garteman bowls a long throw into the box. Rubedzic gets a touch onto it. And it's hooked away by Singaras. Breaks into the midfield. Shinnie wins it back. Finds Barron off the defender again though. Barron losing out, was never really in control. And the defender on the near side slips. In fact, Brandon, the striker, back. He slips as it goes out for a throw into Aberdeen on this near side. Test for Paok as well in these conditions. This is not the kind of weather that they are used to playing football matches in. Cold, blustery. The rain has subsided, thankfully. As Garteman prepares to bowl this into the box again. To the area it comes. Rubedzic managed to flick it back towards Shinnie. Now it's with Miovski again. Miovski looking to turn, looking for space. He goes down. The Aberdeen fans appeal for a penalty again. It's not forthcoming. As Jensen starts another attack. Wide left for McKenzie. Up against Zivkovic. Looking to get the break of the ball. Zivkovic sticks with him. Out it goes for an Aberdeen throw-in. Level with the Paok penalty spot. Stouse stand side. 56th minute. Aberdeen 1, Paok 0.
Miovski was just trying to get that yard of space to release the trigger on his left foot. Couldn't quite get it. And he ends up going down far too easily. It's never a penalty.
Miovski's goal tonight, his 9th of the season. He scored 18 last term. He's halfway to that now. Not out of October as the long throw comes in from the other side, flicked on by Rubedzic, but it breaks to the goalkeeper Katarski, who bowls it quickly over arm with the two hands to Tyson, who crosses halfway, driving forward the outside of the boot ball, slips it through to Constantelius. Wonderful challenging back by Devlin. He's found McKenzie. Outstanding from Nicky Devlin. He's been one of Aberdeen's star performers this season, been put in the shade by Miovski up the other end. And Nicky Devlin, I think Barry Robson is absolutely delighted he's been able to bring him to the club. He was so dependable at Livingston, and he's been excellent for Aberdeen by and large, save for that error against Celtic, as Tyson picks up and squares it in the midfield for Trustekong. Out to Virinha on that right hand side. Paok looking for an equaliser here. An opportunity with Zivkovic. Good skill, was down the edge of the box. Ball cleanly won though. Conor Barron comes away with it. Miovski's on his bike as well, if he can slip it through. Jimmy's managed to do that, and they've got a runner in. Polvara's 1-on-1 to the goalkeeper. Big moment coming in here, and he scores! Dante Polvara sends Pittodrie wild here. Aberdeen double their lead against Paok as the Dons players celebrate in front of the red shed. That is a massive moment in Aberdeen's season. In their Europa Conference League group, Polvara, who scored in Germany, scores in Pittodrie for the first time, and it's Aberdeen 2, Paok 0.
I don't know about the celebration, but the goal was absolutely wonderful from Polvara. A lot of ground he had to cover there to make himself get beyond Miovski, and what a pass from Miovski as well. Ripped their defence open, they left himself wide open. He still had a lot of work to do. He showed good composure, very good composure as he went through. Goalkeeper gets a hand on it, but not enough to keep it out the back of the net. Polvara sees it roll over the line to give Aberdeen at this stage a fabulous 2-0 lead.
Well, I spoke, Liam, in the first half about just how devastating Paok could be on the counter-attack. Well, we've got to give Aberdeen huge credit there. Conor Barron as well, driving from the midfield, finds Miovski. Perfect timing of the pass, perfect finish from Polvara. Devastating counter-attack from the Dons. 2-0 up.
An absolutely dream opening 12 or 13 minutes at the start of the second half for Aberdeen. A 2-0 lead. Now that's asked a big question of Paok. What can they come up with? The ball forward towards Brandon, Rubedzic with the challenge, and Rubedzic with the clearance. And now Paok are going to have to leave gaps at the back, and Aberdeen have proven that they can exploit that. The first really came from a mistake. That was just a fantastic counter-attack.
It was superb. And the thing is, Liam, see when you've set your tactics up the way Barry set it up, and it's worked well in the first half, and then you come out and you get that goal early in the second half, and then they have got to come out, they've got to leave the gap, so the tactics absolutely working a peach. They get the second, and now they're looking for the third.
Yeah, here's McGrath's a wonderful run. Great run, McGrath into the Paok half. Miovski's the only one ahead of him. Other support arriving now. He finds Devlin. Devlin's a poor ball into the area, which Trustekong slices out for a throw-in on the near side level with the 6-yard line.
He has to check his run slightly, Devlin. The ball is behind him instead of in front of him from McGrath, and he's telling him that now. But my goodness, this has been an absolute joy to watch from Aberdeen in the second half.
And what a wonderful finish from Polvara as well. We've seen Aberdeen spurn one-on-ones in Europe this season. That was an outstanding finish.
It was, and to look up and watch the goalkeeper's movements whilst the ball's at your feet's not easy. And he's waiting until he's went down and chipped him.
Garterman with a long throw into the area. Pauk head clear. That's gone behind for an Aberdeen corner on this near side. Another opportunity for the Dons here. I know one of Willie's old teammates, Bobby Clark, has been fulsome in his praise of Dante Polvara. He said stick with him, he'll produce the goods. Well, his 2 goals for Aberdeen, both in Europe, have both been of the highest quality. And that one tonight was outstanding as well.
Yeah, you've got to be really calm, cool, collected, and they showed all these qualities to finish that one.
On the hour at Pittodrie. Aberdeen make this even more spectacular. Barron with the corner, it's flicked away to the edge of the box. Shinnie taking it down, clipping it out to the left. There's nobody in red though. And out it goes for a throw-in to Pauk.
They're rattled, they're definitely rattled. They've lost their discipline. Huge gaps are leaving now in the chase and the hunt to get back in this game. So perfectly played by the manager, you've got to say.
Yeah, they're not winning any awards for the first half performance, Willie, but it's actually set the foundations for this 2-0 lead that they enjoy in the final third of this game. And a must win for the Dons. Pauk are going to look to the bench, a double change coming up for them. We'll get to that in a moment. It is Pauk picking up in the middle of the pitch, and it's over to the right hand side for Virinha. Little clip ball out to the right hand side, and Zitkiewicz infield to Schwab, midway inside Aberdeen territory. Triple change for Pauk coming up here. Tyson moving up towards the edge of the Aberdeen box, checks back infield, rolls it to Zivkiewicz. There's a man down at the edge of the area, no free kick. The referee is in a good position. Devlin's clearance comes off a Pauk player and breaks Jamie McGrath's way. He's been outstanding in the second half so far, Jamie McGrath. A good signing. He's been, the long ball forward hangs in the wind, but it's headed back to the keeper by Trustekong. And it stays on 62. Aberdeen 2, Pauk 0. Did not see this coming at all.
There's never in doubt, Liam. Never in doubt.
They're making it look very easy in the second half, Aberdeen, but long way to go, even with the 2-goal cushion. And here they come forward with Tyson down the left-hand side. The overlapping Suarez, level with the Aberdeen 6, knocks it back to Schwab. And Tyson was the intended target, but it's with Schwab who tries to switch the play out to the right-hand side. Trustekong getting onto it. They're not finding the right passes at the moment, Pauk. Not got their eye in at the moment. Left stunned by this second half performance by Aberdeen, and there's another loose one. The target was Kyliarakis, and it was out of play for a throw-in on the near side, and Brian McLaughlin can bring us news of a triple change for the visitors.
Yeah, 3 changes coming for Pauk. Number 55, who is Rafa Suarez, he's being replaced by Abdul Baba, who is a left back, so it'll be a straight swap there. Magomed Ozdev, the Russian, who didn't play at Tynecastle, he wasn't allowed a work permit, he's been replaced, he's coming on actually, he's replacing Singaris in midfield. Another replacement, Mwana Samata, who's got 1 goal so far this season. He'll be replacing striker Brandon for the last, what have we got, Liam, about half an hour to go?
27 minutes and 90 left. So there's the triple change for Pauk. Magomed Ozdoyev scored both their goals in their weekend victory, and he's in decent form. Samata, as Brian was saying, just 1 goal this season. He was in Aston Villa for a spell, Tanzanian international. Long throw in down the line here from Garterman for Aberdeen in the Pauk half though. Headed away, and Garterman lets it go out for a throw in on the near side. If Aberdeen can see this through, it could do all kinds of wonders for their season, because it hasn't taken off yet. Although they've managed to find a League Cup semi-final, beating Rangers at Ibrox, it doesn't feel as though they've got going yet. And Pauk have a free kick in the edge of their box.
No, but I mean, a result like this just gives everybody confidence that the season is turning. There's been a lot of games to contend with. You know, new players coming in late in the transfer window as well, taking them a little bit of time to gel, but the signs have been there, and you know, the manager's managed to put the tactics here tonight that have worked a treat. And Paok now looking very vulnerable on the break, on the transition.
Yeah, and do they fancy the last 25 minutes of this game to try and dig themselves out of the hole? 5-0 Frankfurt, by the way, against Helsinki, the Waldstadion. Here's an opportunity here for Konstantelios. He was the star player in the first half. He runs into Gartenmann though. And it breaks back to Babaraman on this left-hand side. Now Tyson, little flick with the outside of the boot. Kelarus comes and Slobodan Rubezic intimated as though he was going to boot it away, but he just dummies it, and Roos will gather. And it will remain Aberdeen 2, Paok 0, 65 on the clock.
And if we needed further evidence as to how impressive they were over in Frankfurt, I think tonight shows up a light with Helsinki going over there 5-0 down already.
Majowski chasing but not getting there, and behind for a goal kick. As Rory was saying pre-match, you know, I'm talking about will they fancy it going into the closing 25 minutes plus stoppages. He mentioned this earlier, Rory. They've got AEK Athens and Olympiacos in their next 2 league games before they welcome Aberdeen to Thessaloniki, both away from home, both crucial to their title aspirations. Just wonder, does that come into the mind at all in a game like this when they're still in a strong position in this group? Gartenmann with a challenge, finds Majowski on this near side, slips it back to Devlin. Dante Polvara was offside, McGrath wasn't. He's giving chase, but it will be chaperoned behind for the goal kick by Koulirakis. Aberdeen 2, Paok 0.
I think Barry Robson as well is, you know, he's got a lot of talent at his disposal. When you look at that bench, you know, you've got Duke on there, you've got Sockler amongst others, Leighton Clarkson. I think he's found at least a setup in Europe that seems to work pretty well. Helsinki, you know, you were talking earlier, Liam, about, you know, are they good in games they're expected to maybe win? But I think in these types of fixtures, he's found a setup and a way of getting performances out of the players. Personnel, yes, you can shuffle a couple of players around because he has got a good squad, but I think that's credit to Barry Robson that he's done that, because when you've got good players and a good squad, it can sometimes become difficult.
Rubezic with some Beckenbauer-like skill down on this near side as he dragged the ball away from the striker, shimmied out to this near side and gets it into the Paok half. Yeah. How about that, Willie?
A lot of confidence has just flown through the veins of this Aberdeen team. It's quite incredible. Rubezic, you wouldn't expect him to show that kind of a skill, but just shows you what confidence and belief can do, even to a centre-back.
Long ball forward there by Ozdoyev, out to this near side. Aberdeen cleared through Devlin, picked up by Polvara. Runs into trouble though, pinched back by Baba. And it does come Gartenmann's way, and Devlin can knock it out for a throw-in to Paok on this near side. We're into the final quarter of this Conference League Group G match at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 2, Paok 0, Frankfurt 5, HJK 0. And the other game in the group here on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, on Extra, on 810 medium wave, on digital and online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. The domestic action returning on Saturday. Indeed, a couple of matches in the Championship tomorrow night for various reasons. Dundee United, Arbroath, Queen's Park, Partick Thistle. Saturday, Hibs Celtic, Livy Dundee, Motherwell Ross County, St Mirren St Johnstone. And then on Sunday, Kilmarnock Aberdeen, Rangers Hearts. Here come Paok.
Just on the shape though, and I'll duck out if this looks as though it's going to build up for an opportunity for Paok. I'll leave it just now.
Now Konstantelios with a long deep ball into the box, which has come all the way through to Devlin, who's claiming it's going out for a goal kick, and eventually the linesman agrees with him and the flag's up, and we can let William continue.
I don't think, see the Hacken game here, Rory, I felt that they left the centre-backs exposed, that they were too wide, and the wing-backs didn't play their part in getting back quick enough.
Field day, didn't he?
Yeah, and that's changed now, and they look a much more comfortable side, the competitive side, and a side that are not going to lose too many goals, with the fact that the two wing-backs get back quickly, so they make it a 5 rather than having the 3 centre-backs exposed. I think that is a very subtle change that's really helped their performances.
And I think it's important that you recognise that, as you say, Willie, because, you know, managers come under so much pressure so quickly these days that's been worked on in the training ground. It's been recognised, worked on and coached, and that's huge credit to Barry Robson and his team.
Aberdeen, as it stands, heading for their first European group stage victory since that incredible seminal 4-0 win over Copenhagen in 2007. They came through their UEFA Cup group. Devlin pops it round Tyson, and knocks it up the line. It's going to be a double change for Aberdeen. Just a moment, Miovski can't get onto it, and it's going to be Kyriakis playing it short into the centre circle. Remember, Paok just one defeat so far this season. Triple Aberdeen change coming as Barry Robson tries to freshen things up. Baba sends a wonderful ball right across the face of goal. No takers in black and white, and it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. What a wonderful cross that was. It was quite low, but it was put in with such pace and power. All it needed was a touch.
Yeah, Samata was just wandering into the box. The substitute, he really should have been sharper there and on the end of it.
I think it tells you that there's still work to be done. There's concentration needed as well, and you've got to try and stop crosses like that, the source, not allow them to come into your box. And you know, Aberdeen very fortunate there that Paok didn't get someone in on the end of that one, because it was just asking for it, wasn't it? Right across the face of the goal, just needed a touch.
Paok in possession. Vieirinha into the midfield, picked up by Schwab. Out to Vieirinha on the right hand side, level with the edge of the centre circle in the Aberdeen half. Out to Zivkovic. In field it comes to Ozdoyev. Moves it to the left of the centre circle. And picked up here by Kyriakis. Short to Tyson, out to the left for Baba. Level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box. Gets another low ball in, fired into the penalty area. Cleared though. Onto the chest of Trustekong. And onto the left-hand side of the midfield. Kyriakis stepping forward, looking to switch it out to the right for Zivkovic, who controls it well in front of the Paok fans. Back to Ozdoyev. And double goal hero at the weekend. Zivkovic with a very deep ball into the penalty area, which Devlin will see behind for the goal kick, and it will remain Aberdeen 2, Paok 0. And Brian McLaughlin can bring us news of the Aberdeen subs.
Yeah, the applause you can hear is for number 9, Bojan Majowski, who scored the opening goal tonight. He's going to be replaced, not surprisingly. Coming on to replace him is number 11, Duke, who will also want to be part of the action. Number 21, Danny Polvara, another one who will receive huge applause this evening. He is coming off. It's going to be Johnny Hayes coming on, and the other player being replaced, Connor Barn, who played a huge part in that second goal. He's coming off, and he'll be replaced by Leighton Clarkson. And also a change coming, I think, Liam, for Paok. It looks as if number 77, Kirill Despodov, is coming on, and he'll be replacing, it looks as if it's going to be Tyson who's going to be the player replaced Liam.
Yeah, Despodov, he's a Bulgarian international, 42 caps, 10 goals. Joined the club in September after they dispatched Hearts in the qualifiers, and he comes on, another attacking threat. He's a right winger though, so Zivkovic has come over to the left, and they've got the 2 now through the middle as they look for a rousing finale with 72.5 on the clock, and Aberdeen with a 2-0 lead. Ball's poked into the midfield. Clarkson's first touch back towards his own goal now. An opportunity for Konstantelios. He's in on Roos. Passes it forward. It's in the net. Offside. It's offside though. The linesman's flag stays down. Paok are back in it. It's been tapped home. Konstantelios slipped it through, and it's been smashed home. And that is an opportunity for Paok to get themselves right back into this. Despodov, who's just on, pokes it home, reduces the arrears, and it's Aberdeen 2, Paok 1.
I thought it was offside. You know why I thought it was offside? Was the goalkeeper that came out. Roos had come out, and I thought that he had went, beyond, or the striker had went beyond Roos, and that there was only one player behind. And that means it's offside, but obviously it isn't offside. That was just the angle that I'm seeing it. That's why I shouted. It was just the goalkeeper, Roos's position, because he came running out. But you know what I'm saying? But sorry, we're watching a replay here. Watching a replay of it.
Well, first and foremost, Rubezic is extremely unlucky, because I think he gets
slips,
there,
doesn't he?
But he slips.
Yeah.
He's very unlucky. I think he's behind the ball, certainly, but the ball looks like it travels forward.
Yeah. Brian's watching replays with you guys.
Yeah, the ball has gone forward, but the player who scores has actually come from behind where the player was. But it's very, very tight, Liam, but yeah, marginally onside.
Despodov's first touch is to bring Paok right back into this. Now, Aberdeen have a serious test of their credentials here. Here's Zivkovic wide on the left, gets the cross ball in. Oh, and the shot's blocked. Despodov again. He was almost in to equalise. What an impact he's made. And Aberdeen get away with one. This could be a long 15 minutes or so for the Aberdeen supporters. They lead 2-1, but they're right up against the ropes now.
Well, it's, I said that there's still work to be done. You go 2-0 up, but you've still got to be able to concentrate. You've still got to try and stop the balls coming in from the wide area, stop from source, and we haven't done that. I think Nicky Devlin's got to be, much tighter there, not allowing players to get by him, not allowing these crosses to come in, because who was it? Was it Despodov that he had that opportunity as well? Another big chance for him. If he's on the end of that one and he manages to control his shot, it ends up in the back of the net. So still a lot of work to be done. Yeah, it's been a really good second half performance. The first half was tactically astute. The second half was great. It's lifted everybody's the atmosphere, everybody here, but at the same time still work to be done in this game.
It's kind of fallen off a cliff really though in the last 10 minutes, hasn't it? The changes have worked for Paok thus far, and it's Virinha with a header into Ozdoyev in the centre circle. Out to Despodov on that far side, hangs in the wind again, allows McKenzie to make the challenge, and now Johnny Hayes picks up and shifts it back to Shinnie, and then to Jensen. Huge 15 minutes plus stoppage time for Aberdeen this, for their Conference League hopes. They have to win this game, in a position to do so. Here comes McKenzie down the left-hand side, driving forward. Duke for support, but he runs into a cul-de-sac. He's managed to pinch it back somehow into the box. Goes McKenzie! Down to the ground he goes! No penalty, goal kick only.
Yeah, on first viewing, just seen it live, I don't think it's a penalty kick. I think his body movement looks quite unnatural, like he's almost over-exaggerating it to prove a point.
Yeah, no penalty, game on.
And my boot, too many going down like that this evening, I'm afraid to say. And they're in red shirts as well, which is unexpected for me.
Did exceptionally well though. Jack McKenzie's had a magnificent second half. Real good determination.
Really strong, powerful, really strong, powerful. And the cross, obviously, for Majowski's goal was superb too. But nah, don't go down like that, Jack.
Yeah, not a question of a penalty. Courtney Bryan, who's had the chance to see a replay. So 3 really weak penalty appeals for Aberdeen this evening. 77 just about played. 2-1 Aberdeen lead. Despodov though has given this game a completely different complexion.
Do you feel, Willie, that Majowski just doesn't have 90 minutes in his legs? I understand that you want to bring Duke to freshen things up, but Majowski's doing fine. He's scored a goal, he's assisted a goal, he doesn't look tired, he doesn't look like he's struggling.
No.
Why make that change just because you've got Duke on the bench, Yank?
Yeah, probably, and he doesn't want to, at the stage as well where it's 2-0 he doesn't want to put another striker up, so he doesn't want to play both of them. But I'm with you, he doesn't look tired at all.
Cross for Paok into the Aberdeen box, evades just about everyone. Devlin trying to get there and prevent the corner, and he's done that. He whips it up the line, but he breaks to Baba. He's level with the edge of the D, the Aberdeen box. A delicate chip into the area, which Roos sees behind for the goal kick. Aberdeen 2, Paok 1.
And that was no slight on Duke whatsoever. I just think Majowski was doing so well.
No, I would like to see both of them up there, that's all. I would have liked to have seen Majowski staying on and Duke coming just playing as a number 10 and trying to expose any space, any weaknesses. And he's a fit lad, Majowski. He covers a lot of ground, and he's been asked to cover a lot of ground tonight, and I don't know the ends of it. I'm not inside the Bills or Pittodrie anymore, so I don't know why he constantly gets taken off, because it doesn't look when he is taken off as though he needs to be taken off.
Foul by Shinnie. I have to say that looked exceptionally harsh against the Aberdeen captain. He's adjudged to have brought Samatta crashing to the ground illegally there. So that's going to be a free kick to Paok, left of the centre circle in the Aberdeen half. And Jamie McGrath's taking a sore one. He's just being helped to his feet here by Constantelias, who set up the Paok goal.
It's threatened occasionally to boil over slightly this game at times. Tempers have been high. I think Aberdeen need to remember.
By the way, sorry, Rory, I'm going to cut across you. We're just seeing another replay of that possible penalty. Richard's looking at it here. It looks like a penalty. Looks like Aberdeen have been denied a clear-cut penalty. You see the angle from behind the opposite, the low behind, up the other end of the stadium, and you see that angle of it. It looks a penalty.
Was it a tangle of legs? I don't know, because it certainly the contact.
He flipped McKenzie. He's not got the ball. It's a penalty. Wasn't given. The VAR didn't think it was a penalty either. Anyway, 2-1, how costly will that be heading towards the final 10 of the 90? Aberdeen leading 2-1. Trustekong picking up midway inside the Aberdeen half though. Paok have loads forward for this. Vireinya down the right hand side. Despodov at the byline, crosses in, the header at goal, and Roos saves. It's another chance though. It's another opportunity. Ozdoyev got his head in the end of that, 6 yards out, looking for that bottom left corner. Roos holds on, and it stays Aberdeen 2, Paok 1.
Well, I think the wing backs have now got to concentrate on their defensive roles and actually forget about going forward. There's enough midfield players that can get themselves up, enough attacking players. Johnny Hayes is on now along with McGrath, because that's another cross from the other side of the park that could have easily have ended up in the back of the net.
Duke and McGrath can't keep it in play on the near side. Baba bowls it quickly to Kilerakis, and then he goes back to his goalkeeper Katarski, beaten by Majowski and Polvara. It's Polvara's goal that separates the teams right now. Jensen with a header away from a long ball, picked up over there by Samata. Short ball to Ozdoyev. Now it's with Vireinya. Switches the play right to left of the centre circle here for Kilerakis. To Baba on the left hand side of the Aberdeen box. His cross cut out by McGrath, and behind for a Paok corner. The Paok supporters are doing all that they can to lift their team and push them towards an equaliser and potentially going on and winning it from there. A draw's fine for Paok tonight. It's not fine for Aberdeen. Paok corner right down in front of the Pittodrie tunnel off to our left. The beach end. Aberdeen have everyone back defending this. It's fizzed in, it's flicked away by Rubidzic, I think, and out for a corner on the other side as the rain tumbles back down here at Pittodrie.
That was a really good ball, right on top of the front post. Surprised there was no one coming across to attack it.
Corner over on the Paok right in front of their fans this time. Again, the Aberdeen defence trying to stand firm. The corner will come in, outswinger is missed by the first Aberdeen defender, Hayes, but it bounces off a Paok foot and out of play for a goal kick to the home team. And that's another Paok attack which has come and gone without them finding an equaliser. No underestimating, Willie, how important these last 8 minutes plus stoppages are.
Yeah, vital for this group. There's no doubt about that. You know, and that's why I'm saying even at 2-0, there was still a lot of work to be done, because you could see the tide was turning. It was beginning to become really difficult, particularly in the wide areas. The wing backs have struggled in the second half to defend, you know, and stop the crosses coming into the box. You know, and then that goal and you know, 2 or 3 other chances that Paok have managed to create, you know, tells you that it is, and it's going to be a very nervous last 10 minutes or so, 12 minutes, yep, something like that, for Aberdeen.
A good 5 minutes you would think added on in stoppages. 82.5 on the clock. 2-1 Aberdeen. The as it stands table is Aberdeen just 2 points behind Paok and Frankfurt at the top of the table. And if they were to drop any points here, that gap between the big two, if you like, in this group and Aberdeen, you'd think would be too big to close in 3 matches, particularly when they've got to go to the Toomba in a couple of weeks' time. Paok's home record is magnificent. It's out for a throw-in to the visitors on the near side, level with the Aberdeen 18-yard line. Baba bowling it back the way to Kilerakis. Big centre back, left-footed cross ball into the box, diving header away from Hayes is poor, breaks to Vireinya, who shoots, and it's in! Might have taken a deflection, but Paok break Aberdeen hearts here. 83.5 on the clock. Vireinya, the skipper, slides in front of the raucous away support. It's Aberdeen 2, Paok 2. The Greeks come from 2 down.
That's a poor header. I'm not too sure who makes the diving header at the back post there. Johnny Hayes on his sub, not known for his heading ability, but it is a poor one from him. Maybe the wind takes it to Vireinya. He doesn't make any mistake from that one, doesn't he? He gets plenty of time to do it. He just gets his head over it.
Big deflection off Johnny Hayes, I think.
He puts his laces through it. I think the deflection helps it. Is it on target? Is it going by? But you know, there's no messing with him. He knows exactly what he wants to do. Drive that towards goal.
That's a killer blow for Aberdeen. They've given it away again. And all at sea, all of a sudden, though, Clarkson's fouled, free kick which Jensen takes quickly. This is going to be another night of what might have been for Aberdeen, unless they can find another goal. It's been a campaign, a European campaign of regrets. The Hacken Europa League playoff, when they were beaten 3-1 here, and last time out against HJK, bitterly disappointing to draw the match 1-1. And here, having been in a position of power at 2-0 up, they have let it slip.
The thing is, Liam, when that ball comes into the box, you need to see it again to work out exactly how they've ended up in those positions. But you would expect Jack McKenzie to be there, and it should be the left centre-back going to win the header in the first place. But
here goes Duke up to the edge of the penalty area, slips it to McGrath to his right. Aberdeen on the attack. McGrath overcooks it though, runs into Baba, who clears. Now it's with Constantelias. He plays it forward. Gartenman's there, gets in the road and knocks it out for a Paok throw-in. Paok want to win this now. The manager down there, Barry Robson too, gesticulating. Both very animated. The two managers.
Calm heads. I think Aberdeen, I don't think they've been calm enough. I don't think that they defended well enough, particularly in the wide areas in the second half after going 2-0 up. It's maybe a lesson for them. They don't have too much European experiences, but just when you think you're doing well, believe me, the roof can fall in on you.
And it has for the Dons. Huge deflection we're hearing on that Virinha shot.
He goes across goal, Liam. I've seen it on the monitor. He goes across goal and it clips Johnny Hayes' right leg, I think, and beats Keylorus at the front post.
It was Hayes who missed, or didn't miss the head. It was just a poor headed clearance, dropped to the Paok skipper. And they've come from 2-0 down. Huge regret there will be for Aberdeen. Here come Paok. Out to the left-hand side, Zidkovic is in space. Slow ball across, comes off the attacker and bounces around about the byline. Constantelias trying to keep it alive. And Aberdeen clear through McGrath. Up towards halfway. The header is won by Kylirakis. He's wanting a free kick off Duke. He's not getting one. Maybe a throw into Aberdeen down on this near side. I'm not sure what was going on there. The referee intimated as if he was listening to something from the video assistant, I think. He comes out here and he's going to have a word with Barry Robson, who's in the face of the Austrian referee. Down below us, it's going to be an Aberdeen throw-in level with the edge of the centre circle on this main stand side. Aberdeen 2, Paok 2, 87 played.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that we, you can't flip from one side to the other in terms of, Barry Robson, praising him and then maybe criticising him and things. But, I think he's got a lot right tonight. I just don't think at the time he made the substitutions they had to be made. I think they were comfortable. I don't think anyone was struggling.
Here's Hayes though, winning it down the right-hand side of the box and winning a corner as well. Big moment here for Aberdeen, 87.5 on the clock.
Yeah, still time as well. Johnny Hayes taking it, and he could make up perhaps for that header. I don't think you can blame him for the deflection, but maybe he slipped. I haven't seen a replay, but it was a poor header for the second goal, and he gets the opportunity with the left peg to curl this one in.
In-swinging corner from Hayes with the left foot. It's a floaty one. It's not ideal, but it hangs in the wind. Jensen, and spot by the keeper. Might even have come off the post. And it's cleared by Paok and out for a throw-in on the far side. Level with the Paok 6.
It's clear, it's a save for the goalkeeper. I think he's just reacted to it with his feet, perhaps. Maybe get a look at that, but it catches in the wind, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's hung up at the back post. It's difficult to defend when that ball comes in like that. I think that's a magnificent save from the goalkeeper. I could be proven wrong, but I think he just gets his foot on it.
In comes a long throw from Jensen towards Rubidzic, headed away by Virinha, and out for another Aberdeen throw-in over on the far side. 90 seconds of 90 minutes remaining here at Pataudry. There's an opportunity at the back post. Jensen, not sure he got the final touches. Another throw-in comes in. Rubidzic doesn't get much on it. McGrath is wide. Volleyed it down into the ground and it just zips past the right-hand post and stays to a piece.
That was close.
Yeah, from where we are sitting, Willie, it's hard to see where it's going. There was that sharp intake of breath from the whole stand and it's whizzed by the post.
It's a brilliant volley, isn't it, from McGrath? He just gets a left boot over it. He goes for that corner. I think it just whizzes by the post. I think he's very unlucky.
It was the keeper, by the way, right foot of the goalkeeper. Came back off his own defender after Jensen knocked it back. And the referee's just shown a yellow card at the Paok coach, Razvan Luchescu. Too much to say down below us. It's been quite a game, it has to be said. It's been an entertaining spectacle, but it's going to be another frustrating night for Aberdeen by the looks of things. And they are putting some pressure on here, but Hayes is offside, and that will go for a free kick to Paok. He was going behind for a goal kick in any case. It is 2-2. And I'm just seeing a replay of Jamie McGrath's hit there as well. Goal now wins it. Do Aberdeen have another chance in them as we head towards the stoppage time, and about to find out what that's going to be? Frankfurt cruising to the 3 points against Helsinki this evening, 5-0 up going into stoppage time in Germany, and here it's 2 apiece, and the stoppage time will be just 3 minutes. Doesn't like the stoppage time, Mr. Gieshamer, the referee. Didn't add on any at the end of this first half. And here come Paok with Koulirakis. Side football out to Baba on this near side. Paok in possession, Aberdeen, the wrong end of the pitch if they want to win this match. Chip ball forward by Schwab, takes a touch, breaks out to this left-hand side. Paok had to battle at Tynecastle, eventually won 2-1 in the qualifiers for this campaign, in this competition. And they're looking for a winner here. Troost Ekong wins it out to the right. Virinha's cross ball comes in, headed away by Rubidzic, taken down by Clarkson, feeds it forward to Duke, just outside the centre circle. Duke then, he's away from one man, then shot to the ground on the halfway line. That'll be a yellow card as well. Troost Ekong, he took one for the team there, and that's a free kick to Aberdeen on the halfway line. Do they have another opportunity in them? The seconds slipping away from Aberdeen, and is their hopes of progression in this competition slipping away as well, with the scoreline sitting at 2 apiece. Frankfurt will move on to 6 points tonight. Paok, as it stands, will move on to 7. Aberdeen would be on 2, with a trip to North Greece coming up next. A win changes the dynamic completely. Clarkson's free kick to the edge of the Paok box, goes into it now, headed half away, taken down in the edge of the area by McKenzie, flicks it to McGrath, Shinnie shoots, blocked by Schwab, and it pops out kindly for Konstantelias, knocks it back there to Zivkovic, not a great ball. Rubidzic slides in, doesn't get much contact, but it's now with Hayes from Jensen, clip ball into the box there towards Duke, who might have been in an offside position. He was, the flag has gone up, and he goes behind for a goal kick anyway, and it will remain Aberdeen 2, Paok 2, as we move into the third and final minute of the stoppage time here at Pittodrie. A night again, Willie Miller, of what might have been for Aberdeen.
Yeah, it's been pulsating though, hasn't it? I mean, you know, I think the tactics in the first half worked a treat, and then you come out in the second, you get the 2 goals, it lifts everyone in the stadium. But then there's lessons to be learnt as well, because the game isn't over, even at 2-0, and you've got to concentrate. And I think they lost a little bit, and as Rory says, some of the substitutions disrupted that too. But for me, you know, Aberdeen have got to defend it better in the wider areas.
Within a minute of the subs for Aberdeen, it was 2-1. 11 minutes later, it's 2-2. And Paok are attacking in the final seconds of the game here. There's a cross ball into the area, flashes across Kellaroos's goal, and out for a throw-in on the other side of the pitch. We're into the final 10 seconds or so now, though. This is going to finish 2 apiece. It's going to be a point apiece. And Rory Loy, there's going to be huge regret for Barry Robson and his players.
There is, yes.
A lot to learn for her.
Sorry, I was just wondering what they were checking there, because you know, he was definitely caught on the edge of the box there, Despodov, and I just wondered if it was maybe in the box or not. But we'll wait and see.
Checking something.
Yeah, because if it was in the box, it's a penalty.
Oh, this is a penalty. Aberdeen's European season's effectively over. It might be already.
It was certainly a foul. I think it'll just be whether it was in the box or not.
I haven't managed to see a replay of it just yet. This could be a big moment here. Yeah, he's going to come over and have a look at it. Paok might be getting a penalty here. And Aberdeen, who led 2-0,
it's definitely a foul.
Could be about to lose. Penalty kick potentially here for Paok. Aberdeen led 2-0 with 73 minutes on the clock. They might be about to face a penalty which would win the game for the Greeks. Rory Loy says this is a foul, so if it's in the box, it's a penalty, and he's made his mind up. Here comes the referee now. Penalty. Paok penalty. They left it late to beat Frankfurt on match day 2. They're going to have a chance to beat Aberdeen here and effectively end Aberdeen's competitive European season.
Stands on top of his foot. I mean, the thing was, at the time, I couldn't believe he didn't give a free kick.
The Rubicic.
It's Rubicic,
yeah. I couldn't believe he didn't give a free kick because I thought it was on the edge of the box. And then I'm thinking, as soon as the play stops, well, if it was in the box, it's a penalty. But Despotovs rolls 2 or 3 times, so he's nowhere near the box when you look down.
Stefan Schwab has the ball in his hand, and this will be the last kick of the game. Listen, a point's probably not enough for Aberdeen at the end of the day, but if they were to lose this, they'd have 3 games left, but with just 1 point and miles off the pace at the top of the section. And Paok with a chance to make it 3 wins out of 3 here. They'd move on to 9, Frankfurt on 6, Aberdeen would be stuck on 1. And Stefan Schwab, who scored a penalty kick at Tynecastle Park on their way to beating Hearts in the qualifiers, has a chance to beat Aberdeen here. The Dons led 2-0 with 17 to play in this game, but Schwab has the chance to win the game for the Greeks. The referee's not happy with where Garteman and Rubicic are standing. He's not happy yet. Schwab's being made to wait. The Paok fans ready to celebrate on the far side. Schwab with hands on hips. Here he goes, left-footed penalty from Stefan Schwab, and he scores! The Paok fans celebrate, the players celebrate, the subs and the coaching staff celebrate. This has been a bruising finale for Aberdeen. A night of what might have been for the Dons. Their European dreams for this season look to be in tatters now. Stefan Schwab converts the penalty. That was the last kick of the game. The final whistle's gone. The penalty awarded after the VAR check. And from 2-0 up, Aberdeen lose 3-2. Schwab with the finish. Aberdeen 2, Paok 3.